Have you ever heard of a plan backfiring so badly that it ends up doing the exact opposite of what it was supposed to? Well, that's exactly the kind of story we're diving into today.
So, picture this. A powerful empire tries to stamp out a new movement by throwing its leader in jail. Simple, right? But what if, instead of crushing the movement, they accidentally hit the gas pedal? I mean, how does that even happen?
We're heading back to ancient Rome to talk about a man named Paul. Now, he's a Roman citizen, but he's under house arrest. And his crime? Well, he was spreading a new, pretty disruptive message. The Roman plan was straightforward. Lock him up, shut him up, and stop this whole thing dead in its tracks.
But then, from that very prison, Paul says something that makes no sense at first. He actually writes to his followers and tells them that his imprisonment, the one thing that was supposed to end his work, was actually the best thing that could have happened for his cause.
So this is the heart of the paradox. On the one hand, you have what Rome wanted: silence, fear, and a dead movement. But on the other hand, what really happened was the total opposite. The message spread even further, his followers got bolder, and the movement just grew. So what in the world was going on?
So how did this happen? Well, the first piece of the puzzle is surprisingly simple. It all comes down to who Paul was stuck talking to, day in and day out: his own guards.
You see, Paul says his message became known through the entire praetorium. And we're not talking about just any soldiers here. The praetorium was the absolute elite. We're talking 9,000 imperial guards. These were Caesar's personal bodyguards, basically some of the most connected and influential men in the whole Roman Empire.
And here's the kicker. To stay at peak performance, these guards worked in really intense 4-hour shifts that had to be sharp, focused, and alert. And for Paul, this disciplined schedule was an incredible, unexpected advantage.
So you can just picture it, right? Every 4 hours, like clockwork, a brand new guard shows up. And for 4 hours, Paul has a fresh, literally captive audience. He shares his story, tells them his message, and then the next guard comes in, and he does it all over again. His prison cell basically became a seminar for the emperor's inner circle.
But it didn't just stop with the guards. The second reason this movement exploded was the ripple effect Paul's imprisonment had on everybody on the outside. Think about it. His followers saw their leader in chains, not full of despair, but full of confidence. And that lit a fire under them. Instead of getting scared and hiding, they actually became, as he puts it, much more bold to speak the word without fear. His courage was totally contagious.
Now this is where it gets really interesting. Not everyone who started preaching had good intentions. You had his friends, sure, who were doing it out of love and support, but then you had the rivals, who were driven by things like envy and ambition. They were actually trying to stir up trouble for Paul while he was locked away.
So what was Paul's reaction to these rivals? You'd think he'd be furious, right? But his response is just incredible. He basically says, so what? Who cares why they're doing it? As long as the message was getting out there, he was going to rejoice. The mission was just bigger than any personal drama.
So you have to ask yourself, what kind of mindset lets a person see opportunity in a prison cell and find joy in the work of people who are trying to undermine them? It all comes down to his fundamental view on life.
This one line, this explains everything. Paul had completely reframed the concepts of life and death for himself. For him, there was literally no losing scenario. He saw it like this: if he lives, great. He gets to keep doing his work and helping people. But if he dies, well, for him, that's a personal win, an upgrade, something far better. When you truly believe that both outcomes are a victory, fear just loses its grip on you.
In the end, though, his decision didn't come down to what was best for him. He looked at the two options and decided that staying alive, even with the struggle, was more important for the people he was serving. His purpose was tied to others.
Okay, so let's tie this all together. How on earth did a Roman jail cell, a place designed for silence and punishment, end up becoming a launchpad for a global movement? The whole plan to silence him just backfired spectacularly. His prison gave him a captive and highly influential audience. His own courage inspired his friends, and even his rivals, to be bolder. And the whole thing was fueled by this mindset that couldn't see defeat. The bottom line is this: suffering and persecution, they just didn't get the final say. You know, this story from 2,000 years ago is so much more than just a history lesson. It's this powerful case study in how our perspective can completely transform our reality. Paul saw his prison walls not as a barrier, but as a doorway. And that kind of leaves us with a big question, doesn't it? What walls in our own lives, if we just looked at them a little differently, could actually become opportunities.